Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about building an unforgettable moment in your narrative. All right, and we're going to talk about this specifically through the context of three body problem, and there are spoilers here. And specifically, the moment we're going to talk about is the unbelievable revelation of an almost unimaginable weapon, and the use of the use of a terrifying weapon in an almost unimaginable introduction of that weapon, and getting the experiencer, the book reader, and then on Netflix, Three Body Problem Season 1, the Judgment Day is cut in half. The Judgment Day is cut into a 6-layer cake um, by Augie Salazar's microfibers. Right. So actually, we've seen microfibers before in Cyberpunk, right? But when I read the Three Body Problem, I love that book. But there was so much there, right, that I like many people, I walked away from it and I'm like, I don't even know how to talk to people about this, right? Like, there's just so much happening here. But I remembered always the part where the Judgment Day ship, carrying literally, I think, 500 or 600 Trisolarian supporters who worship the Trisolarian aliens, and they had families on this ship. So on this Judgment Day ship was a command center for them. It was a research center for them. It was a transmission point for them. It was a headquarters for them, right? Like, it had critical resources for the Trisolarian worshippers, right? Who were trying to help the Trisolarians who were coming 400 years later to take over the Earth, right? And these guys were like, we've done such a terrible job with the Earth, let it all burn. We'll let these new masters rebuild the world. And so, but the reality is there were children on this ship. There was wives, husbands, families, not just soldiers, right? In fact, none of these people considered themselves soldiers. That's one of the reasons why a holy war is so incredibly deadly. Because how are you going to beat somebody who doesn't even consider themselves a soldier, right? They just like, I'm killing you because my God told me to. Like, it's a thing. So basically, the Judgment Day ship comes through the Panama Canal, and Augie has worked with this organization who's like, hey, you aliens, come, we're gonna be here when you get here, baby. We gonna take it to you. Let's get the ruckus on, right? We ain't rolling over, right? And they decide to attack these Trisolarian worshippers, and they just devastate them, right? They trick them, and they use Augie Salazar's fibers, and they just line up 6 of these fibers on each side of the river, and the ship just literally powers through the channel and hits these fibers and literally slices the entire ship apart. And I've never seen anything like it. And actually, that's the issue. When I read the book, in my mind, it was terrifying. I was like, I've never seen this. Is incredible, right? And then they brought that to life in Netflix's Three Body Problem, and I'm like, what? Like, it looked astounding. I couldn't believe it. Like, it was it was more terrifying than I had imagined it when I read it. Right? They did a phenomenal job bringing this thing to life on Netflix. And I honestly, I can't believe this thing's been made. Right? This feels like something we weren't supposed to see, right? Like, in many ways, in my opinion, it's very interesting. But so this is an unforgettable moment that was put forward by Sixteen Louis in Three Body Problem, the book, and then delivered by the creators of the Game of Thrones show. Pretty astounding. And then they brought it to life on the big screen, right? This is what you and I are trying to do. This is where we're trying to land, right? This is what we're trying to accomplish, right? So we are trying to sit at the table and create moments that people do not forget. And it is not easy, right? Because we have more limitations than an author has. We have more limitations than a director has, right? We have to integrate both the chaos of the math dice, right, and every Dragon Master's every Dragon Master's decision with their player character at the table. That's huge, right? Dungeons and Dragons is really, it's the Dungeon Masters and the Dragon Masters creating a narrative story. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, you have to know what an unforgettable moment is. Do you? And I remembered it. And when I started watching Three Body Problem, I had forgotten this, and in the I knew it would be there, right? But I had forgotten where I would see it, right? So I was waiting. I was like, when am I going to see this? Because I've seen this in my mind, but I've never brought this to life, right? And I think what's interesting is we have to read excellent narratives and experience excellent narratives to understand what an absolutely unforgettable moment actually looks like, right? And then we have to know how to seize that moment and create something truly unique that is unforgettable. And this is why the table matters, because we can do this for 4 or 5 people and tell them a story that no one else owns, right? No one else has seen, that is infinitely invaluable to them, right? And is truly unforgettable, right? So I love Three Body Problem. I love the show. I love the book. I love the show. And this is what we need to do. This is not where we are trying to land. We're trying to hit that unforgettable moment. And we need to push. We need to read the best material, watch the best material, know what good narrative is, know what bad narrative is, and stay at the table. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please, let me do that again. Please consider liking, subscribing, and everything you just heard is my humble opinion, nothing more or less. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.